Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. Now, in today's video, we're going to be doing I guess you could say it's not a guide, but it is. It's kind of like my daily routine on Nikke, right? Because a lot of people, for some god-awful reason, not an awful reason, but for some reason, as of late, a lot of people have been asking me, hey, Zxous, how are you never burnt out of Nikke, right? Because I've never actually shown any signs at all on either when I'm streaming or videos that I'm ever burnt out of this game. And the honest truth is I'm not, right? There's nothing that Nikke has ever done for me to make me feel, burnt out. Now, I don't know if that's just because I'm a YouTuber and I cover a lot of content on the game. If you guys follow the channel, you would know. Make sure you guys subscribe and like anyways, right? But if you guys follow the channel, you guys would know that I upload quite a lot, right? Very consistent. So, yeah, I don't feel like I'm burnt out on this game. Never once have. I always say that from out of all the gacha games that I've played Nikke, from literally the beginning to now, I still feel the same way, right? Obviously, it's gotten to a point where there's less to do now for me, technically, because I'm now in endgame where I'm now just fighting bosses, trying to push in story, the tower leftovers, or the tower that I have left over, and etc., right? So, yeah. I'm not burned out, but those are the reasons, right? I don't know if I really explained it, but we're going to be talking about what I do daily, and if you guys want to start doing this, right? It's quite simple, actually, right? Nikke kind of has like its own roadmap, really. So just follow me, and this is what I do daily, every day on Nikke in my daily routine. You guys will see. So when I open up Nikke, the first thing I do is always go to my outpost defense. The reason why is because I feel like that's the most notable. Even though it's like the smallest tab out of everything here, it is the most notable because it either has a red dot or it might be at 100% flashing yellow, right? So when you go here, I come here, I always wipe out, which I've already done. And then I claim whatever is here, right? No matter if it's at 100%, no matter if it's at 2%, whatever it's at, every time I see it, I end up collecting it. Because as long as it doesn't hit to 100%, then you're fine, right? When it hits 100%, you're actually losing materials, right? But if you keep that from 100%, then, what's it called? You will be good. So if you actually claim this right before you go to sleep and you wake back up, then you open up Nikke again, you actually won't be at 100%, right? It takes quite some time to get to 100%. So first thing I do is go to my outpost defense, right? Then the next thing I go to is the current event out, right? I think that is also one of the most noticeable things, right? Because it's not something there all the time, right? But if you notice, Nikke actually has events all the time. So right now it's the Nia. I still don't know how to say it, but it's this Paradise Nero event, right? And then I come here and I go to obviously the core dust stage, which is stage 11 of whatever difficulty I'm doing, and then I just quick battle it, right, with the stamina I have, right? And that's it. Now my challenges, when it comes to challenges, I don't do the new challenge every day. I actually wait for it to either get to 2 or 3, just because it doesn't really change much, right? If you do it today, but if I end up doing it tomorrow, it's not going to change anything. As long as you do it and you don't have like 3 and then the next day you still have 3, right? Because then you've wasted a run, right? As long as this is always like kind of far from 3, or as long as it's at 3 but the day it hit 3 was like the day it hit 3, right? Then you're good, right? So always outpost and then the event. I always go back, and then this is where, again, you just play Nikke as you've always been playing, right? So you go to your friends, you send your friend points and stuff like that. There's nothing important in Union right now, so you don't have to worry about that. And then you go straight to Arc. Now, for me, what I end up doing first is Interception, then Special Room, then my Arena, then my Tribe Towers, right? When I'm streaming, it's a different order, but that's how I go. I kind of like make my way down and go like this, right? So Interception, Simulation Room, Arena, then Tribe Tower. Reason why I do that, because I feel like that's like the importance order, right? This is the most important, then second most. Technically Tower is more important than Arena, but you're going to get to a point where you're capped on Tower and you just can't progress anymore, so it becomes less important, right? So Interception most, Simulation Room second most, I would say Arena's third most, if you do care for Arena, of course. If you don't, just skip it. And then Tribe Tower, and then obviously Lost Sector if you have Lost Sector. So I have some Pilgrim Towers that I have to still push through. The Missileless one I can as well. I have to push through that as well. So literally And then when you're done all of this, then you just go to do your elevator missions, right? So you actually go to the outpost, and most of the rest of the missions are here, right? If you need more of a guide, you can always just follow your dailies, right? I think your dailies really just tell you what to do. So these dailies, for example, right? Send a point, claim out twice, you know, wipe out once, advise Nikke, dispatch 3 times, right? Simulation room, and then these ones here, recruit 1 time, right? These are all things that you should probably just try to follow. This is also like a roadmap or a guide of what you should be doing daily, right? But for progression, this is just what I be doing, right? So I either go to elevator or bulletin board. I always tend to go to bulletin board first, because elevator, the bulletin board mission is like almost always there for some reason, at least for me personally, right? So I just get it done regardless. I go to my elevator, and if we hit enter, you just follow what else you have to do, right? And again, the elevator is just like the daily missions. They're really just telling you what to do, right? So for example, interception 1 time, purchase item in common shop 3 times. We're going to talk about that in a second, because I do actually go to the shop every single day, right? But you just do your elevators and then stuff like that. Now I know people don't advise or stuff every single day. I mean, now it's more noticeable because it actually leaves a red dot. So again, you probably want to go advise every single day. But yeah, that's really all you have to do, right? When it comes to the outpost. And now I want to say the final thing that I do to like wrap up my Nikke, you know, daily routine, besides like if I'm making a video, it's obviously I'm going to be on the game longer, right? But if I'm not and I'm just playing, the next thing I end up doing, well, this is something you probably will do first, right? Depending, but it's just your daily thing. Right, you're not really gonna miss out on these red dots, right? You're gonna notice these red dots no matter what. But I end up going to shop, and one thing that I personally like to do every single day is I buy my 1, I buy my 2, and then I actually refresh. It says 0 the first time, right? And when you unlock it or something like that, it will say 0. Once you have that spend gems 0 times, you just confirm, and then it will refresh the shop. You just buy whatever is there for free and whatever is there for at least the tickets. I always buy the tickets with the credits, right? And then the next thing I end up doing is this, right? I always just end up buying these code manuals, right? Because they're always going to be valuable to me, and they're just something that you're going to need in the future. So I always buy the box of 25, and then whatever 3 is out here, I will always buy it, right? And when you refresh, you can see you have to spend gems, but this is what I always do. And then everything else here is just if you have the materials, right? Like you're not really going to be touching these 24/7. It's really just the general shop and then the arena shop. But yeah, that's basically it, right? And then I want to say you're done the game, right? So when you get farther, it's going to be harder, right? Campaign is something that's optional, hence why I never talked about it this video, just because I don't do campaign every day, right? I just started pushing in campaign again today. When I beat the Motherwell boss, and then on stream when I was doing half of chapter 22, right? So campaign is just something that you don't do all the time, because you're going to hit a wall in campaign at some point. So it's just not something, but I want to say if you focus on literally just doing it in that exact order, you should be fine, right? They haven't added anything new really. So I mean this is more of an end game, right? I remember when I made this video, when I first came back, I was still below the 160 wall. So this is, you know, kind of an upgrade from that video. Now that I'm in end game, like deep end game, I'm literally about to clear chapter 22, and there's no story after that. So I'm literally just fighting bosses, arena, tower, simulation room, etc., right? So this is just what I do daily, right? This is more, like I said, a daily routine than a guide, but you can use it as a guide if you guys just want to follow me and do exactly what I do every single day. Then that's the way to go, right? So yeah, for now, it's your boy Zxous. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video, and if there's any other guide videos you guys want me to do, definitely let me know down below in the comment section, because I always do every single guide that, so for some reason, I don't know, some of the guides ideas are a bit outrageous, but I will still do it, because again, maybe the next person also needs help, right? So you guys let me know what you think. I mean, nothing really to think about, but subscribe and like. It's your boy Zxous. See you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.